Good morning, YouTubers. Oh, we got a wet day down here in South Louisiana on 16 beautiful acres. Anyway, we caught some good rain the last couple of days. Yesterday didn't rain, didn't have much sunshine. Waiting for the garden spot to try to dry up a little bit so I can get back in there. And I'm going to have to re-till and re-row up. But I did order me a 2-bar, 3-point hitch 2-bar, 60-inch 2-bar, and two 16-inch pan disc on an 1.25 inch shafts and some connectors to go with it. And I'm going to set that up where hopefully in the next day or two they'll be in and I can set that up, put my tiller back on, get all my whole gardening in. I haven't got anything planted. I got my corn, I got my pea seeds, I got my bean seeds, I got my seeds, I got my fertilizer, but I didn't get everything done before the rains came. We're not supposed to get rain again until Wednesday evening, so I'm hoping it gets dry enough that I can get the tractor back in there. But I do need to re-till it, re-row it, and get my fertilizer put down and my seed drill put down. And I also ordered a little hand-push seeder that I'm going to use. Hopefully all that's in by Wednesday, and I can get rolling on it. But right now we're going to ride over to the garden spot, show y'all how wet it is, and we'll talk about more of that when we get over there. Y'all just hang tight. Boy, it's wet out here. I hate to run this heavy tractor through the backyard like that because it tracks it up. That's for taking it slow. So I don't track up too much stuff. I'm hoping the sun shines good enough today and tomorrow to dry this little garden spot out enough to let me get back in there and till it up again. 3 good days without rain, all to dry it up. I'm going to try to put the weight of my wheels on the edge of this garden and see if I can't make a track to halfway alleviate some of this water down on this end. Actually looks like it's drying up pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. Let me open this door. Get a better shot at it. It's not too bad. Get some good sunshine. Kind of wet down on this end a little bit with little water standing there, but most of it's gone down. It's still wet. It's still muddy, but it's not too bad. We're gonna stay out of it for a day or two and see what happens. Y'all can tell this garden's not a big garden. Next year those piles are gonna be gone. Then I'm gonna till this whole field up. We're gonna plant it all in corn and peas. I'll probably do a U-pick kind of thing for the public to come in and pick their own on peas and corn. I'll probably pull the corn myself. I let them come in and do the U-pick on the peas. I like to pick out purple rose peas. I find they taste the best. That's my opinion. A lot of people like the brown crowder and the regular silver crowder. I find them to be a little starchy for me. I like to pick out purple rose a little better. That's my preference. But you like what you like. Everybody got different taste buds out there. I got other acreage I can plant, other areas to plant. By next year I may have some more areas to do. But that's what I plan to start doing in my retirement years. Do some, we used to call it truck farming back in the day, but I'm not really going to harvest and truck my stuff anywhere to the farmer's market. I don't know. Right now, I like to keep it low maintenance, where I could just more or less let the public come in and get a feel for picking their own vegetables. When I was a young guy in high school, of course that's been 50 years ago, I was at FFA and 4-H, and that was my project for the summer. The farm I lived on, we had acreage, and I usually planted like 2 acres of peas and about an acre of corn. But we harvest everything ourselves. And back then, I would go pick up my little crew that wanted to pick peas and make money during the summer. I took my old pickup truck. I was 15. I'd take my old pickup truck. It was an old truck that my daddy let me buy from him cheap. The motor needed rebuilding, so I rebuilt the motor in it. Man, I ran that truck for 5-6 years. It beats having a truck note. And I would go pick up my little pickers, and they aged anywhere from 10 years old up to my age. They were all in high school, junior high and high school. I'd pick them up in the morning. We'd come and we'd start picking by 6 o'clock in the morning. By 11:30, it was too hot. We'd be done finished picking the field, and I paid them $1 a bushel. That was the going rate back then. They all got $1 a bushel. Some of them picked 4 or 5 bushels at a time. They made $4 or $5, which back 50 years ago was a good bit of money. You know, it's good spending money for a high school kid. I sold my peas for $3 a bushel. My mother kept a list of my clients from summer to summer. And a lot of these ladies lived in town. They lived in these subdivisions, and one lady would come out with a station wagon and her neighbor with her, and they'd buy 7-8 bushels of peas from me. They were buying for their neighbors and all. They pooled their money together and come by. Carport at the house. Didn't see a car parked under it during harvest time, because that's the shade we used to pile up the peas and stuff. We put a tarp down and dump those bushels of peas right there, and when they come, we'd measure them. They'd bring their little garbage bags, and we'd dump peas in the garbage bag. They'd pay for them and take them home and go to shelling peas. And my pea crop, I always had about 2 weeks of picking. You picked like depending on what the rain did, you picked like every other day. Sometimes it was a little bit drier, you'd pick every 2 days. You'd pick and let 2 days go by and have another picking. And you did that for about a 2 to 3 week span until the peas played out. And after that, we'd let the cows in on it. The cows would eat all the pea vines and stuff up. And then the corn, on my corn, it was sweet corn. And when I did my sweet corn, you had three pullings on sweet corn. You had a light pulling, you had a heavy pulling, and then you had another light pulling. And that was it. Corn was over with. So in a matter of a week time, maybe 8 days time, your corn was done. And then I'd do a fall crop. I'd do a fall crop of peas. Sometimes I could get a fall crop of corn in. And then every now and then, one year I did 900 tomato plants. Now that was a chore, because my daddy said you're not planting tomatoes until you have a stick to go with it. And they had a buddy of mine, his daddy and them, they had bought some property, and they had a bunch of big tree area. We went in there and we cut tomato stakes by hand. We didn't go buy pretty little square tubing tomato, square by 1 inch by 1 inch square tomato stakes. We went in the woods and we cut tomato stakes. And we cut 825 tomato stakes. I always say I planted 900 plants, but it was actually 825. But then that year, that was 1976. That was a bicentennial year. And this fad came out where make your bicentennial garden. So everybody in there lived in the subdivision that had a few square feet in their backyard. They all planted tomato plants. So I I made a little money, but if I figured out the work I did on those tomatoes and how many the cows ate, because we couldn't sell them, and tomatoes only last so long before they go bad. It was really the wrong year for me to plant tomatoes that year because, man, we made tons and tons of tomatoes, but we didn't sell tons and tons of tomatoes. So that was the last year I did tomatoes. I did do 500 head of cabbage one time. That played out pretty good. But I'm gonna tell you, when you're young like that, you do the math and you say, man, I can get so many cabbage plants to the row, and that's gonna give me if I have so many rows, so many heads of cabbage, that's gonna give me 5,000 head of cabbage, and you're figuring, man, 5,000 head of cabbage at a quarter at that time, 25 cents a head, that's $1 for every 4. So you say, man, that's $1,250. It ain't gonna cost me but $62 to plant it, and I'm thinking, boy, I'm gonna get rich. But it never works out like it works out on paper. Anybody out there gardening, got a small little farm, just figure your profit on about 60 to 80% of what it does on paper. So that's what you're really gonna come out. And that's if you manage it well. But farming's a good life. It's a good. I guess I'm gonna say, what word am I looking for? It's a good gratifying life because you're producing something from Mother Earth. People love it. They come buy it from you, and you feel good about it. So, but anyway, I miss that. I got away from it when I went to college and started my working career and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna retire in 9 months or 8 months. And I bought this nice tractor because I'm gonna get back into it. I don't have access to the property that I had growing up because that family property has sold through the years. But it's good, gratifying property. And if things get going, I may find another few acres somewhere to rent just to do truck farming on. So I like it. It's fun. It's gratifying. Yeah, any of y'all out there watching my channel, I got 90 subscribers, trying to get to 100. Y'all see, if y'all got a topic you want me to do a video on, get down in the comments and tell me. If there's some new tractor drivers out there that want to know some tips on tractors and on maintenance, on safety, any of that, give me a comment on what you want me to do a video on. I'd be more than happy to put a video together and oblige anybody out there that's wanting to know something. Don't be bashful. Just because you're a new tractor driver, first time you own the tractor, hey, we all got to start somewhere. So if y'all have any ideas or want to know anything, shoot me a comment. And if it's something that you really don't want a video done on it, you just want to answer to something, go ahead and shoot a comment to me. And I'll be more than happy to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'm sure I can find the answer, but there's not too much about tractor operating and gardening and tractor mechanics that I haven't had experience with. I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but I know I've been around 50 years with tractors. You learn a good bit when you're around that long working on tractors. And I came out to the front road here because one of my daughter's garbage cans is by the road, so I'm going to stop and pick that up car, drop it off at her house. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to do a quick little video on that. So until next time, folks, look, if y'all like my channel, subscribe to it. It doesn't cost nothing to subscribe. Hope to be doing some real videos in a couple days when the weather dries up. If you like my content, hit that like button. And if you want to know the next time I put a video up there, hit that little bell for notifications. And I'm going to say like I always say, I sound like a broken record. Y'all be careful of them tractors out there. Those tractors can hurt you if you're not sure what you're doing. Take your time on them. Don't get in a hurry. Learn your tractor. Take your time and learn your tractor. Until next time, God bless y'all, and y'all have a great day. Thank you.